Welcome to the Life of KG, your ultimate destination for all things motivation and business insights. Join me, Katie Godfrey, serial entrepreneur and the brains behind the KG brand. Along the way, we'll welcome inspiring guests and share invaluable business tips to fuel your growth journey. Don't miss out. Hit that subscribe button and leave us a review. With that said, let's dive into the world of success together. Hey everyone, welcome back to A Life of KG. So I wanted to do you guys a solo episode today for some things that I've been talking about on social media lately, and I've had so many DMs with people asking for advice, how things should be done, and just different things on these subjects. So I thought, you know what, let me do you a podcast episode on this. So today I thought I would talk to you about cancellations, no-shows, and creating urgency within your salons, clinics, business. So it doesn't matter if you are mobile, if you rent space, if you work from home, or if you are a salon. These things are all for you to implement into your business. So first of all, let's talk about cancellations and no-show policies and what I do within my business. And, you know, these aren't things that you have to do. These are just things that I advise and that I always test within my business. And if it works, then I always bring to you guys and to my clients. So when it comes to policies, if you haven't currently got policies in your business, then I highly, highly recommend that you do this. Now, policies make it really easy for us to then implement things into our businesses if we come up with, you know, them really hard conversations with clients or with teams. And it just makes things in black and white to make it easier to deal with. So, for example, if someone cancelled and they come up with the reason they cancelled and it pulls at your heartstrings, because obviously we're human, right? It makes it a lot easier to make decisions when there is a policy in place and we're like, unfortunately, this is the policy because we're guided by that. If you have a team, it also makes it so much easier because they're the ones that copy it on the end of the phone call if someone cancels, and then you're going to charge them a fee. So if there's a policy in place, again, the staff member can then blame the policy as such and be like, unfortunately, that's what the policy says and it's out of my control. And then if you want to take anything up with the business owner, then we can pass on your details. So policies are really, really important just to keep things in black and white when it comes to making decisions within the business or, you know, anything that comes up. So do you currently have a cancellation policy in your business? And do you currently have a no-show policy in your business? So I'll tell you what we have done over the years and how we've changed, which I feel has been so much more better for the business. So we used to have a 24-hour cancellation policy. So if anyone cancelled within 24 hours, we then charged 50% of that cancellation fee. We've done this for absolutely years and years and years, and it worked really well. But what we found, if someone did cancel on the 24 hours, we might be able to fill up that space, but sometimes it was still a bit slim to be able to fill it up. So we might have gained 50% off that client, but it still wouldn't have been profitable if it was empty. So we extended this to 48 hours in the business a good few years ago now. And it was really changed the game for us, because if it was in 48 hours, the client still pays the 50% fee. And then we also, as a business, have more time then to fill that space because we have the whole 48 hours to be able to fill it. So then we'll find that it becomes more profitable because we might have 50% off that client that cancelled, but then we also might have a full pay-in treatment in. Or if we've had to fill it at a discounted rate, at least it would still be profitable. So 48 hours really, really helped with us, especially if you're like a booked business, a salon, you know, you always have treatments booked in. So if someone cancels, your client base mostly thinks, well, they never have treatments available, so there's no point booking last minute. So sometimes it's quite hard to fill them spaces. So if you are currently doing 24 hours, I highly recommend that you change that to 48 hours just to protect the business that little bit more, and it does really work. I had a client recently say that they were getting lots of cancellations when their email or their text went out to their client to remind them of the appointment. So if you don't already have reminders going out for your treatments to the clients, again, highly recommend that. With our booking systems that we have these days, it's really, really easy to implement. We always have a text that goes out 24 hours before someone's appointment and an email 24 hours before. Well, what I found when I digged a little bit deeper with my client was, okay, why are they cancelling when they get that reminder appointment? It was really odd. And she was like, yeah, we're getting so many cancellations, I don't understand. So I was like, okay, when are you sending that reminder out? And it happened to be 48 hours before. I think it was 48 hours, or it might have even been 3 days before the appointment. It was longer than 24 hours anyway. It was either 48 hours or 3 days before the appointment. And I was like, that's where we're going wrong. We need to change that 24 hours before. Because I'll tell you what happens psychologically with a client when someone gets a reminder appointment, and you might not even realize this yourselves, but when someone gets a reminder appointment, it reminds them of that appointment. But if your text or email says you've got an appointment at this time for this service, it's this much money, and if you need to cancel, please cancel within 24 hours because otherwise there'll be a fee. So if you've then sent that email or text out before the 24 hours that you currently have in place, you're giving that client the opportunity to be like, oh, don't really have the money this week, I'm going to cancel that now because I won't be charged. Or I've got lots of things going on, so maybe this week's a little bit strapped for time, so I'm going to cancel. So we're giving the client that opportunity to cancel without a fee before the cancellation period hits. So it's like, let's change that. When she changed it, it completely changed. So she changed it so her cancellation policy was 48 hours instead of 24. And then she changed her reminder text going out from 48 hours or 3 days, whatever it was, to 24 hours before. So then if a client did cancel when they received that text, there was a fee in place. What happens is when there is a fee in place, it stops the client from cancelling because they don't want to pay a fee. So they're more than likely going to be coming. We get clients call us all of the time. And honestly, it doesn't matter if these policies are in place. People are always going to naturally try it. And they might say their child is sick or they haven't got childcare. We actually had one the other day and the client cancelled a few hours before the appointment. Now, our policy is 50% if you cancel within 48 hours, but if you cancel within 4 hours of an appointment, it's charged a no-show price at full price. So she was cancelling an hour before her appointment, so it would have been a full price treatment. And her thing was her childcare let her down. Now, as a mum, it's extremely bloody stressful when you're bringing your kid into the salon and you just want to relax. So I get it. Her childcare cancelled. She is not happy. And she's thinking, well, I'm not going to my appointment. But also, as a business, it's not my fault that the childcare cancelled. So we have to implement the cancellation policy. But we did give her an option to bring the child in. I was actually in the salon that day. I didn't do treatment. I just come in to pop in and see the girls. So I was like, I don't mind looking after the little one at all. I actually love all of that. So I was like, I don't mind looking after them. But the mum was still like, no, it's okay. They won't feel comfortable. So I was like, okay, that's completely fine. So she paid the fee. She actually called back during the day and managed to sort childcare. So she managed to come in the end. But my point is, everyone will have their stories and their complete valid excuses of why they can't come in. They're completely valid, but we have to stay really, really strict to what our policies are, because if everyone has a really good excuse or something that pulls at your heartstrings, when you actually look back over a period of year of how much money you have lost because of letting the policy go, it might actually make you feel a little bit sick. So you have to be really strict. You have to stick to your policies, and you just have to make sure you implement them, basically. When it comes to no-shows, we obviously charge full price for a no-show. If you have a booking system, so we use Forest, obviously there's lots of different booking systems out there. A lot of the time with booking systems, you can now data catch. Is that the word? Card data catch? You know what I mean. Their card details are attached to the system. Let's just say that. And so if someone no-shows, we can just charge their card. Now, we find this really easy to do because we can just click a button, charge their card. As long as they've got funds in their bank, then it will just charge. If the client then has a go at us for doing that, we always blame the system and say the system will do it automatically. Obviously, there was terms and conditions when you booked online. That is part of the terms and conditions. So then you are fully covered. So again, at least you're not losing out as a business if someone doesn't show up to an appointment. What people get really worried about is, I'm going to lose these clients if I'm charging cancellation fees, or they're really peed off that I'm having to charge, or if they no-show and then they're definitely not going to come back. Well, there are a lot of clients out there. We have loads of clients out there that completely appreciate our policies. They respect that. They know if they don't show up, who is going to pay the team? Who is going to pay the overheads? We will be at a loss. So they respect that and pay quite fine. I know if I was going to cancel my hair appointment, I would be paying my hair appointment no matter what. That's just how it is. Same with a dentist or anything. So you will get clients that fully respect your boundaries and your policies. You will then also get clients that completely kick up, say they're not coming anymore, and then you're left feeling really rubbish as a business owner, thinking you've lost a client. All clients are going to be thinking this, I'm going to lose clients. I always say it isn't nice. I completely get that. But let the clients go that don't appreciate your business and your time and your worth, and make room for the clients that do appreciate your time. As soon as you have that mindset shift, it helps massively. It's definitely helped me. If one of the girls call me and go, Katie, I'm making this name up now, but Katie, Sally called me and she's really not happy. She says she's going to go to the salon down the road. I literally just say, okay, let her go to the salon down the road. And I'm completely at peace with that. Because if they want to be, in the nicest possible way, shitty, that we're going to be protecting our business and our staff jobs, and they don't respect that, then we're not the salon for them. And this only happens like a really rare handful of times, because like I said, most people do appreciate our policies. So just be really strict with them. As much as it might be like, oh, this is really difficult to implement, because it does get easier. As soon as you start realizing your business's worth, it just gets easier. So definitely give the cancellation and the no-show policies a go. I bet lots of you already have them in place, but maybe don't implement them all the time. So I task you to implement them from now on. And the other thing that I've been talking about recently on socials is creating the urgency with bookings rather than showing your appointments all the time. It has created some conflict online, I'm not going to lie. Some people agree and some people don't, and that's completely okay. Like, not everything I say people have to agree with. I will always just come with my opinions when it comes to my experience and what we have tested and trialed within the industry and within business as a whole. For me, when it comes to my businesses, we're all about trying to be as fully booked as possible, making sure that we're fully booked in advance as much as possible. Obviously, that's not always possible, but we try and do it as much as we can. And I'll tell you why, because there's nothing more stressful than looking at a diary on a Monday for that week and being, what the hell is going on? Why is my salon diary empty? Like, that's so stressful. And I used to hate that, like, hate it. I used to feel sick to my stomach every single Monday when I used to look at the diary and be like, oh my God, I now have to drum up so many appointments to fill the diary. Whereas when we started creating urgency in the salon, then the diaries naturally got busy, and then I could look in a month's time and be like, okay, there's some space, we've got a month to try and fill that up, rather than looking at that week and being like, oh my God, I need to fill the diary, who's going to pay the wages this week, this is dreadful. So it's about creating the urgency. And what I see a lot online is, and it's a great idea, I'm not denying that, but what I do see a lot online is people will put up their whole week's appointments on what's available. Now, obviously, if you have available space, we want to promote them spaces. So I'm not saying, which is what people were getting wrong on socials, I'm not saying don't promote your spaces. I'm saying don't promote them all. Don't give them your whole diary so it looks like you're really quiet and you have plenty of space to book in. Because I'll tell you the reasons why. If you do this, your clients will know every week you open up availability and they will grab them spaces. It doesn't create the urgency whatsoever. If I was going to get a treatment done, now I'm actually naturally a last minute booker. I'm one of them annoying clients. So if I know a salon always has availability and they'll open up some spaces that week for the public, I'll be like, I'll just wait for one of them because I'm going to get a space anyway. Whereas when I go to my hairdressers, she is full months and months. I literally book about 6-7 months in advance with her all the time. So all my appointments are booked up because I know if I don't do that, she can't put her week's availability out because she's always booked up. So that just wouldn't be possible with her. So I have to book in advance. So you can see straight away from a client's perspective, why would I book in advance if I always know that I'm going to get the space that I want? So you need to see it like that. So then you won't ever create that fully booked diary because there's always space. What you need to do instead, if you're not fully booked, is create the idea that you are fully booked because you want to change your business model. So it might be like, I'm really busy this week, but these are the few last minute spaces I have. And you put up like 3 last minute spaces. Or due to cancellation, a rare cancellation, I have this space today, and put that space up. So I'm not implying you don't ever put your last minute spaces up. That's not what I'm saying at all. In fact, there's loads that you can do with last minute spaces. You can do a content hour and get someone in at a discounted rate if it was last minute in return for content. You can put the urgency posts up to say last minute cancellation, here is this space. You can put, if you've got in a few days time, a big gap that you want to fill. I'm just saying, don't put it all up. We need to know, the clients need to know that these are rare spaces. You have to book in advance to get the spaces you want. So there's ways of doing that when it comes to your wording that you're putting out on your stories on social media. If you do emails, you can also put out on your emails, like we did it the other day about, summer's approaching, so we are super busy in salon. If you want to get the spaces you want, make sure you book the next 3 appointments in advance so you're not disappointed. But that doesn't then mean on future emails, I won't say, Tuesday, I have a last minute space at 2:00, who wants it? But I won't say Tuesday, I've got 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all available, pick your slot. It will literally be like a choice of time that I will put out there. So again, it's that psychological wording that you use. Someone said to me online that it was not being honest, and I didn't really like that much, but okay, that's their opinion. But my thing is, that's not being honest. Now, I'm actually the most honest person ever, but there's being honest and there's marketing, and you're running a business. And when you're running a business, you have to put your CEO head on and you have to put your marketing hat on. And there is ways of filling up your diary without showing every single available appointment. If someone goes on the online booking system, they're going to see all your appointments anyway. That's when they go and look, and then they can choose what appointment they want. But when it comes to your marketing, you have to be tactical. It's not about being honest. You'll always be honest, but it's about being tactical, and you have to bring psychological marketing into your marketing, because that's how businesses grow and scale, and that's how they become fully booked. So I just want you guys to be aware of those things when you're creating urgency in your salons. I'll give you a prime example. I actually might have told this story before on here, I'm not sure. I've told it to someone anyway. I have a few staff members in my salon currently who are completely rammed, fully booked, weeks and weeks on end. They even have appointments for next year. Now, why is this? Ask yourself, why is it? It's because the client knows they are not going to be able to get in with these staff members if they do not book in advance. So you will see them at reception and they will be booking months in advance. And when they come for their next appointment, they will then book months in advance from the months in advance they've already booked. So that's where then they're like booked a year on end. Like, it's crazy. And that, I promise you, is fact, because the clients know that these staff members are fully booked. And then we have the flip side of that. So we will have the few girls that aren't fully booked. And my clients will know that if they book in last minute, they're more than likely going to get an appointment with one or two of these therapists, because they might not be fully booked in advance like the other girls are. So the clients that will only have a certain therapist will book in advance, but the clients that don't mind who they have and just want to book as and when, they will do that knowing that there might be a couple of girls that are booked. And I always say this to my team: look at the difference between so-and-so's diary and your diary, and this is why they've created the urgency. They're fully booked in advance. So it's a team effort, right? It comes down to you as the owner. It comes down to you as a team, if you have a team, and how they check out that salon, that client at reception, how they word things at reception. So if they're like, Sally, I know you love 6 o'clock on a Wednesday. I'm getting really fully booked on Wednesday. So shall we get your next few appointments booked in? Sally's going to be grateful that you have given her the heads up that Wednesdays are getting booked, because yes, she only likes Wednesdays at 6 o'clock. So she's going to book. So it's all about the way that you word it. And so if you know the times and dates that your clients normally have, let them know, give them a heads up. If you want these spaces, you better book in advance. And I always recommend to try and book 3 appointments. Clients need to go and then change them or tweak them, and that's totally good, totally fine. But try and get them to book in advance. And then you will see over time your diary gets more and more booked, because you've created that urgency. Obviously, there is going to be still a handful of clients that like to book ad hoc as and when. That's completely fine. But as long as you've got like a bulk of your database that are booking before they leave, that's going to calm you as a business owner, rather than that Monday stress of trying to fill the diary. So just wanted to share that with you. Give it a go. On the show notes, I have my link to my retail course. So if you haven't already done my retail course, I am putting it in here for you guys for only £7, like total bargain. You can do this solo on your own if you're on your own, or you can do this with your teams, and it will help you sell more retail in your business. So I put this together for you guys. So I thought I'd pop it in the show notes so you can have a look, and you can download that for only £7. And it's normally something like 49, I think, top of my head. So yeah, give that a go. I'll pop it in the notes for you. If there's anything that you guys want me to talk about, if there's a certain subject that you want me to go over, please drop a message in my DMs and I will do that for you on this podcast when I do my solo episodes. But there you go. There is a short episode for you to make sure that you're getting more booked up in your business and to make sure you're implementing things to safeguard your business too when it comes to cancellations and no-shows. I'll see you guys on the next episode. I want to give a shout out to Sky Premium Life products. Now, you will know from last year that I was testing all of their supplements and I absolutely love them. They were a sponsor on this podcast last year and they also are this year. I have tried all of their supplements, from collagen to their hair tablets to they've got focus tablets, anything that you need help on with your body system functioning, whatever that is, they have help. And I just love them all. I would highly, highly recommend them. We also started selling it within our business, making extra money in the salon with retailing the products. And because they're extremely reasonably priced, clients are loving them. Lots of my clients were also using them and they're selling them in their businesses too. So if you want to grab a discount, you get 15% off their products. The link is in the show notes. If you want to sell it within your business, reach out and I'll tell you exactly how to do that, or you can just message them directly. But I highly, highly recommend you take these for your own well-being. And I also recommend, if you have a business, that you're selling it within that too.